The White House press secretary talking about the uncertainty surrounding the ongoing crisis between Russia and Ukraine. Good evening, I'm Liz Ortiz.
Everybody, I'm Russ Bowen. But will any of the tactics being used to prevent a Russian invasion actually work? What we do know is nothing is as it was even a decade ago. None of us want to see a Russian invasion of Ukraine, including the thousands of families who watched their loved ones deploy to Europe from Fort Bragg. The world is now learning that Putin has spent a lot of money and effort to build a much more powerful military force than we realized.
This is not the Russian military of 10 years ago when soldiers were unpaid. It has high-tech weapons. They're well-trained. They're not as large as the combined efforts of NATO, but I do think that it can take on individual NATO countries quite well.
But experts at Duke don't expect a full-out war, yet any diplomatic success will only come with Vladimir Putin's blessing.
This is going to be slow. This is going to be drawn out simply because Russian diplomats are not really, I think, empowered to make any really meaningful concessions. Rather, they're there to sort of be the intermediaries.
And what of sanctions?
Sanctions have never crippled. Okay, they can impose economic costs. But there are a couple different counter strategies that we need to pay attention to on these with Russia.
Including China. The U.S. boycotted any representation of our own leaders at the Olympics. Putin was there, though, as China joined him in disagreeing with how the U.S. is handling the situation with Ukraine.
You know, Russian-Chinese trade has grown. I think it's $146 billion now. Trade with the European Union is 220, but that's a pretty big chunk. China has a payment system, a finance system that can help ease the pain of what we might do on finance. So China can help not totally offset the sanctions, but compensate.
NATO is also likely to reassess its own strength or lack of. Previous doubts of a Russian threat may be part of the reason some NATO countries have not met their 2% share of defense spending.
I think that NATO wasn't as strong as we wanted to believe it was in the first place. I do think NATO has a lot of work to do, and this should be something of a wake-up call for them.
And Liz, also breaking this afternoon, Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby saying members of the 82nd Airborne from Fort Bragg are ready to evacuate Americans from Ukraine if it's necessary. He says if Americans in that country heed the warnings to get out, there'll be no need, though, for the 82nd to step in to help with that, but they have to pay attention to what the State Department is telling them.
And we know families of our troops will certainly be watching this closely.
Yeah, no question.
All right. Well, the CDC says it is sticking by its masking guidance despite a wave of blue states and